Hello, everyone. I'm really excited today, and the only reason that I'm excited is what started off as an email conversation ended up with a holiday in Victoria Falls. I mean, it's one of those moments that I never thought it would happen, but when it happened, it's actually a miracle. Today, with me, I'm with Matt Auberg from the States. Welcome, Matt.
Yep. Thank you very much, Kuda.
Absolutely. So, in my short interview, I'm just going to ask Matt a few questions. There's really no topic. We're just going to talk about different things about our work and what we have been through and things like that. So, you cool with that?
Absolutely. Yep.
Absolutely. So, years back, Matt was looking on the internet about some information to do with work in Zimbabwe, and he came across my website. And I was really impressed that what I'm doing actually works. And can you please tell me about that experience? I'm going to take you back to that moment. What were you looking for? And
Yeah. So, to my recollection, I was looking at Bitcoin usage in kind of emerging markets, and Zimbabwe is one of those countries that has had issues with their currency in the past decades, and so I wanted to see if Bitcoin was playing a role in Zimbabwe, and so I just started searching for that stuff on Google, and I think some of what Kuda does involves Bitcoin, but he's also doing other online marketing stuff, and that's how I found him. It was a completely organic search, and I just reached out. Yep.
okay. Thanks so much. So, upon the years, did you remember which year was that?
Let's see, it's 2022. Had to be maybe 2018 or so, I think.
That was 3, 4 years back, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Hmm.
so right now we're actually in Victoria Falls, and Matt has graciously graced Zimbabwe, and we had gone on a helicopter ride, and thanks so much, and quite a number of activities that we did in between. Thanks so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I
I'm
appreciate.
glad to have company here.
Absolutely. So, you mentioned something about when you was actually doing the search in one of our conversations that I'm one of the people that are talking about stuff online. And can you just comment on that in terms of our people, especially in Zimbabwe, how powerful it is to have an online presence and keeping that and making sure that it stays there in terms of I'm talking about information because
Yeah.
what I have on my website or online is just information about the way I live in Zimbabwe and how I make money and things like that. And it was important to you. Can you just comment on that in terms of other people that have information, but they're not utilizing what they know?
Yeah, I think. I mean, this is proof. The fact that um, you presented yourself online in such a way that people who normally, under normal circumstances, they would never have the ability to reach out to you. You presented it in a way that made people reach out to you, and I know I'm not the only one. You've met several other people who I also know, just in the online world in many other countries. So yeah, if you are good at something, um, put it online and show that you have skill in a certain area, and it will attract people if you do a good job at it, for sure.
Absolutely. So, in some of our conversations over the years with Matt, I've read his website, his work, and I was trying to find out what he does. I'm not going to try to explain what he really does, but he has very, very good memory. I mean, he's a very good researcher as well. I'm going to ask him, Matt, what do you do? What's your profession? What's the nature of your job? If you can simplify that
Yeah.
for us, yeah.
I don't know if I can simplify it all the way, but yeah, the main thing is I'm just really interested in financial technology and how it's kind of shaping the world. There's a lot of new technology, especially in payments, in cryptocurrencies, stuff like that um, really is starting to connect people all around the world, make cross-border payments and do remittance and move money to make investments in other countries. And I find that stuff really fascinating. So I have a website. It's called usefultulips.org. It tracks different Bitcoin trading volumes in, I think, 200 maybe 180 different countries around the world. Um, I don't really make money from that website. I also have kind of a regular full-time job. It's at bitrefill.com, and we accept cryptocurrency as payment in exchange for gift cards and mobile top-ups in 150 or so countries around the world. I've actually topped up your phone once just to see if it worked.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And it did work. So yeah, that's basically what I do.
Yeah, of course. Myself, when you spoke about Bitrefill, I actually had to send a friend of mine, HM, in South Africa. Yeah, using Bitrefill, the website.
Yep.
Yeah, I actually did that. And so one of the things that you mentioned as well in our conversations is that you spoke something that really struck me. You may have not noticed, but it really struck me. I mean, you said, you gotta think big. That is one of our conversations. I'm sure that there are some things that you have perspective on in terms of especially the African region. You're traveling to different countries, and there is some circumstances that we have as Africans that when we live in a certain boundaries, there's some things that you may not notice. What did you really mean by that statement, like think big? What was going through your mind? If you can just explain that, not directly to me, but also to other people that are trying to make ends meet, especially online, in terms of thinking big. What would be your comment on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to put into words, but I see a lot of things changing very fast all around the world online and in technology, and you can be a part of it. And the point you said about we do have our own little bubbles that we live in, and sometimes it is hard to see that there is a much bigger world outside of that bubble. But if you put yourself out there, and like I said, if you're actually good at something, you put yourself out there, you will find people that you never imagined would want to connect to you. They all of a sudden start wanting to connect to you, and you never know what that could bring to you. That's in general kind of what I meant, and I think specifically in the area of remote work and freelancing and international payments. There's so much that's changing right now. So if you are interested in that stuff, you can easily become a part of it.
Absolutely. So can you tell me something about there's an idea that I've been trying to entertain. I want to ask about your thoughts in terms of e-commerce, that is creating e-stores. Okay. You live in a world where that happens, where you can order a t-shirt and it is delivered at your place. You try it on, it doesn't fit, you take it back. You need a different color, you take it back. That does not happen in Africa a lot. It's really an emerging market. And have you ever thought about that? Or if you haven't, what are your thoughts in terms of our logistics and about that kind of business?
Well, yeah, I'm not familiar with how difficult it would be to ship physical goods, but I would say it's always going to be easier if the services that you offer are services and not products. If it's something that you can deliver digitally, for example, maybe a consulting service or some sort of talent that you have that doesn't require the shipment, because then you get rid of all those problems, right? So that's what I would suggest. I think that avoids a lot of the problems of actually shipping physical goods and dealing with all those issues.
Oh, okay. Yeah, absolutely. So now, if you have anything to share with us, you may be saying, in your interview, you should have asked me this question. Why are you not asking this? What would that be if you really want to share something with us?
Nothing comes to mind, but I would just say, I'm really enjoying myself here. I'm learning so much as I'm traveling, and I think you don't really have to travel to learn a lot. If you're online, you can you can travel on the internet and learn anything that you want to online. So it really is a new age of learning. So yeah, it's a very powerful thing.
Absolutely. Now, I'm about to end this interview. Like, where do you see yourself in the next coming years? Like, what's the future like in terms of your career and your research? I understand that you're researching a lot about the African market and the other people that you're connecting with in different parts of the world. What are your future plans, work related?
Yeah, I want to continue learning. I want to continue following this evolution of kind of this globalization of payments and payment technology, because I think it's going to improve people's lives. So, yeah, I think in 3, 4, 5 years, I will continue to be a part of that space and explaining to the world the value of these new technologies and how they make things a lot easier for people.
Okay, and now who specifically should pay attention to the payment systems that you are talking about? Which group of people to say?
I think anybody who is interested in moving value across borders would benefit from the things that I research and write about. And that's if you're moving money into your country or if you're trying to move money out of your country. That's the type of stuff that I research a lot. And I find out how people solve those problems internationally. Yep.
Okay, and this could be my last question. I may not have asked you something, or you may not have shared something, and some of the people may want to know, like, you have a question. Where can they get in touch with you? Which social platform, email, website, or whatever that you can actually share with us so that they can
Yeah.
get in touch with you?
Yep. So the center of it all is probably on Twitter. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at Matt MATT Ahlborg AHLBORG, and of course I have my website usefultulips.org as well. Either of those two, you can definitely be connected to what I'm doing.
Okay. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Kuda.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
So that was Matt. I met him some years back. Today, it's one of the things that happened to me that is really life changing. I mean, right now we're in Victoria Falls. We are doing a lot of site visit and having a lot of discussions in between, sharing some notes and things like that. I really appreciate him and his generosity. And thank you so much. And bye for now.